Close your eyes for just a second. Picture the night sky. Now, open them. When you look up into that massive, dark expanse, you're seeing an infinite void, right? A beautiful, sparkling gateway to the stars. Boundless freedom. But what if that freedom is a complete lie? Today, we're exploring some hidden possibilities that outline a really cold, mysterious perspective on our reality. It's a perspective that asks us to consider something chilling, that the limitless universe we've been sold is nothing more than a masterfully constructed illusion.
Which brings us to a pretty terrifying question. Is the infinite void an illusion? The hidden possibilities outlined in the sources we're unpacking today suggest that outer space, that endless frontier we've all been taught to dream about, might actually be a physical ceiling, a literal barrier, a lid with absolutely no exit. I mean, just imagine for a moment that the sky above you isn't some open door to the cosmos. Imagine it's the inner wall of a colossal cage. It's the kind of slow-burning realization that completely flips your understanding of up and down, inside and out. And worse, it leaves us completely trapped. The absolute crux of this whole concept is the idea of a solid sky. These perspectives indicate our atmosphere might actually be a completely closed system. And if that's true, then the outer space we see in textbooks and projected on our screens, it's a masterfully crafted deception. It would mean that for decades, there's been this hidden understanding that the path to the stars simply doesn't go up. Instead of a vacuum expanding into infinity, we're actually looking at a hard, impenetrable boundary. So naturally, this leads us to the next logical and incredibly suspenseful question. If the sky is a roof, well, where is the exit? If we are genuinely sealed inside this construct, how does anything get in? Or more importantly, how does it get out? Ancient accounts suggest the answer actually doesn't lie above us at all. It lies at the very edges of our world. According to these perspectives, the only way out is through secret portals, literal stargates, hidden deep within the most frozen, deadly wastelands on Earth, places where no ordinary human is ever allowed to go. Consider those dark, really mysterious reports from 1965. You had researchers traveling through the brutal, icy wasteland of the South Pole, and they documented something that absolutely should have been impossible. They reported witnessing technology hovering over the glaciers that defied every single known law of physics. This wasn't just some anomalous weather event. It was described as a functioning mechanism, a gateway hidden away in the most inhospitable place on our planet. And the depth of this mystery goes way beyond a random mid-century sighting. Hidden truths in these sources suggest a massive stargate exists deep beneath the Antarctic ice, allowing for travel to the far reaches of whatever actually lies beyond our system. But here's the catch. This technology wasn't built by us. According to the accounts, it's a remnant of a highly advanced civilization that occupied this space roughly 50,000 years ago. But that leaves a pretty glaring question, doesn't it? If the sky is a ceiling, how do we explain telescopes, observatories? What about all those high-res images of a swirling cosmos? Why do we see planets and shimmering galaxies tracking across our sky night after night with perfect precision? If this theory holds, we are forced to question the true nature of literally every single light that glimmers above us. This is where ancient texts introduce a truly chilling term, gagalili. Perspectives indicate that everything we see up there, the stars, the moons, those distant nebulae, they are actually manufactured constructs. They're described as celestial toys created by unknown hands and either projected or physically placed upon the ceiling of our enclosure. It's a staggering twist when you really think about it. The entire night sky might just be a grand, intricate mobile, spinning above our heads purely to give us the illusion of insignificance within a massive, endless universe. What this means is that there is literally no outside in the way we traditionally understand the word. We're told we exist within this vast, expanding galaxy, but the sources propose we might actually be inside a series of nested inner spaces. Think of it like a Russian nesting doll. One enclosed space locked within another, connected only by hidden tunnels or wormholes. It's an architecture of reality where you never actually step outside. You merely step into a larger cage. So, if we accept this premise for a second, if we entertain the possibility that the sky is indeed a physical, unyielding roof, we have to pivot to an even darker mystery. How did we get here? Because if Earth is a closed system with a solid sky, humanity couldn't have just organically evolved in the dirt while looking up at a fake universe. We must have been placed inside this inescapable construct. But by whom? And for what purpose? Some ancient accounts suggest a deeply disturbing origin story. They say humanity did not evolve on this world. We were brought here.
According to these narratives, we were transported inside a colossal 200-kilometer-long mothership known as Eden. In this perspective, the Garden of Eden wasn't some mythical forest in the Middle East. It was a biological habitat, a massive, heavily monitored terrarium inside a spacecraft, specifically designed to seed life into this enclosed earthly system. And we weren't just dropped off by chance either. Perspectives indicate that we are the direct descendants of a highly calculated project. This wasn't a natural migration. It was a sprawling biological experiment involving 30 to 40 different extraterrestrial races. Our DNA is described as a patchwork quilt, carefully, deliberately engineered by dozens of unseen architects, seated within this biodome to be observed, to be studied, and ultimately waiting for a harvest. Which brings us to perhaps the most unsettling question of all. Why the physical and frequency barriers? Why go to the trouble of placing us in an enclosed ecosystem, only to systematically keep us completely blind to our true origins and our true nature? I mean, if we were an experiment, a seed planted in a cosmic terrarium, what's the purpose of the glass ceiling? Why hide the truth behind manufactured stars and impenetrable walls of ice? The sources suggest a really dark, hidden possibility here. Earth functions as a prison, and not just a physical one, but an energetic one. Our energy is allegedly being harvested by entities that vibrate at frequencies just slightly outside our normal range of perception. Ancient accounts call them the invisibles. They walk right among us, completely unseen by the human eye, operating the heavy machinery of this closed system from behind a frequency veil that we're currently unable to pierce. And these sources offer a terrifying motivation for all of this. They state that these entities feed on the vibrations of fear, trauma, and conflict. That is exactly why the ceiling is maintained. These invisibles ensure we never look too far inward or realize our own true potential, because they literally require our lowest emotional states just to survive. The wars, the intense division, that constant state of global anxiety we all feel, under this theory, it isn't just human nature. It's a cultivated crop. The physical and frequency barriers are specifically designed to keep us trapped in a cycle, constantly producing this heavy, dense energy. So the tension naturally builds to the ultimate climax of our existence within this system. If the sky is both a physical and energetic barrier designed to keep us trapped and harvested, how on earth do we shatter the shield? We clearly can't just blast through it with rockets. And those secret stargates we talked about, they're heavily guarded in the freezing, lethal extremes of the planet. So how does a humanity, kept completely blind and bitterly divided, break out of a prison it can't even see? The answer, according to these texts, lies in the very laws that govern the frequency shield itself. Our sources state that this barrier will only shatter when the collective human consciousness reaches a very specific, elevated vibrational threshold. They call it level 18. You see, it's not a physical lock holding us in. It's a consciousness lock. The cage only opens when the prisoners manage to evolve past the frequency of the prison itself. Perspectives indicate that hitting level 18 manifests as something called the dissolve. Achieving universal peace, a true resonant harmony with every single living thing, is the exact frequency required to dissolve the ceiling. The theory goes that the moment humanity collectively stops producing those low, heavy vibrations of fear and trauma that feed the invisibles, the architecture of the sky simply won't be able to sustain itself. Deprived of its power source, the illusion will crack, and the barrier will just dissolve. Which completely reframes this entire terrifying narrative into something incredibly profound. It means we are in a training ground for a race that has simply forgotten its own divinity. Perspectives indicate that this construct, as dark and oppressive as it seems, is ultimately temporary. It's a crucible, and breaking it won't just let us out into the real universe. It will return our access to divine internal technologies we've long forgotten. We're talking about abilities like manipulating time, or energetic medical technologies that can heal literally any ailment in a matter of seconds. So we're left with a pretty stark comparison, looking up versus looking in. For generations, we have stared up at the goggly, right? Those manufactured stars. We've been searching for a physical exit, spending billions building rockets to try and punch a hole through a solid roof. But according to this explainer of our source material, the true path out of the closed system isn't found by staring at the ceiling. It's found by raising the frequency of the observer. The ceiling is only as strong as your belief in it. If these hidden possibilities are true, you're not the random product of blind evolution trapped in some cosmic cage. You are the key to the lock. The question is, what happens when humanity finally stops looking up in helpless, fearful wonder and starts looking in? Will the true stars finally be ours?